right, hello everybody. Hope you are all doing absolutely wonderful. So for those of you who have never been in this before, who have never been in one of my live streams, this is basically just a live exercise session. So what I'm working on right now is just going through this course and just going through this material and learning from it. So that's what we're working on, and I hope that you will all, or anybody who wants to, will join in, say hello, and join a conversation, whatever you need. And I am here if you just feel bored and you want to have someone random to chat with, an artist or something else, whatever it is that you're seeking in your life, perchance you'll find it here. And right now I'm just doing a couple of updates. I have a couple of updates I need to make to my stream, but once we get done with that, we'll go ahead and continue. So if you're just tuning in, thanks. Or if you're going to tune in later and you're listening to this, thank you as well. So let's go ahead and get this stream started here. So one thing, I have this the streaming platform that I use, and I have to edit each one separately, or each one of my streams separately. So got to take care of that real quick before we do anything else. And let's do this. And here we go. So we're live now, and basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna go flip to this next page here. Let's go a page, pull this one out, and let's go ahead and jump into this. So we're gonna work on this next page right here. And oh yeah, what was the last ear we did? Let's see. Let's match up our ears to see if they have something similar. So the ear that I did, so we did the small ears and we did these two bigger ears. So yeah, there we are. So we're working on some ears right now, some ear studies. How about that? Studies for the ear. So this is by a well-known course called the Ultimate Bargue Drawing Collection. Now, I think this is a reprint of, this is definitely a reprint of the original. But the original book, from my understanding, is just a bunch of studies to work with. So these are all just studies, and you just go ahead and do your best to copy them. And basically what they would do in the past, or classically or traditionally with this book, is you would just copy it exactly, and you would copy it over and over. Vincent van Gogh was an artist who was known to have gone through this like 3 times. He liked this book so much, he went through it 3 times. Although I will say there's probably some bias, because his company, his brother's company, Gogh AC, was one of the first companies to publish this work. So I think there was some bias there as far as being a marketing genius that he was. Maybe not in his lifetime, but I think that Vincent was definitely a marketing genius around his lifetime, just in general. Because think of this, so Vincent van Gogh, although he was only rumored, I think it's a rumor, I think it's a myth, that he only sold 1 painting. I think he sold more than 1, at least 2. But, you know, he wrote these letters to his brother, almost as if he knew that one day that his letters would become famous, or that his letters would become known in some way. And I think that that's fascinating that his brother, the documentarian, his brother documented and saved these things, archived them, as if he knew something was going to come of it. And I think that's really interesting of an idea that, these are business people, these are marketing people. It's from an art business family, so they weren't like, these like uninformed art people. Vincent and his brother, they were highly influential business people in the art world. They worked with people like Claude Monet, I think Degas, Paul Gauguin, and I'm sure many others, Toulouse-Lautrec. So all these great artists of the French period of art in the 1800s. I mean, I guess there's always a French period, but during this time they had some amazing artists, and I think Vincent was definitely conscious of how to actually build a brand. And although it's never explicitly shared, I think he was very, very conscious of the idea. So we're actually going to bring this one up a bit more. One thing with drawing with pastels is it's really clunky. So these are really thick pastels, and as you can see in these drawings, the lines are fairly thin. So, I have this challenge to work with. And ultimately, my idea is if I can get the majority of the ears right, as far as the line work goes, then you know what? I'll get the ear right, even if it is a little bit thick as far as the lines. And from there, it's just a matter of getting the lines and the color and the shading on the inside right. So I can already see this ear looks a bit big, but that's all right. We'll probably go through this. We'll probably go through many, many, many more ears to come. So here we go. So we're going like this. Bring that down. Make that like a Y. And there we have it. So this here is quite a bit different than what I'm seeing, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and work this in. So let's go ahead and work this in with some of these shapes, right? So first we've got this shadow right here. I'm gonna go into the shadow. Actually, we're gonna go with a darker blue. This is like somewhat of a light blue. We're gonna go with a darker blue here. Let's go with the darker blue here. I'm gonna go like this. Just get into the shadows here, the dark spaces, and fill in the space to create some shadow, some differential lighting. And let's go around, and then let's go actually into here. So some more shadow into here. You can actually make an effort to round it out a bit. So round out the shadow, and there we go. Bring another shadow right into here. So let's see that. And then another shadow down here. Honestly, I'm not really understanding how these shadows are being made. But, you know what? Or I'm not really understanding like what these shadows are specifically signifying. They almost feel a little bit inaccurate at times. But, I'm sure that this book was made with careful consideration of where to put all the pieces. So we're just going to have to trust the judgment of the people who made this. That a lot of time must have gone in. But here's the funny thing, is any book like this, you're learning from somebody who has been trusted with the title of some sort of master or some sort of person that you're going to trust that is doing everything in the right way. And, you know, fortunately, this book was very successful in teaching people things. So, you know, I don't think there's necessarily a risk of entrusting in this book, but I think it's interesting how, you know, anytime you do work with a book like this, as far as art studies, you know, anybody can write a book, especially nowadays, right? But who are the real experts? Who are the real people who have the tastes? Another thing is taste, you know, the flavor of the day, as far as art goes. Now, this is a classical style of drawing. So, like, this drawing style doesn't really capture the modern tastes of artwork. However, I definitely think that this style, as far as drawing and painting go, that this style does capture a very, very classic, I don't want to say traditional, but very time withstanding. The style of this work, these studies are definitely ones that can withstand the test of time. You know what, this ear's too big, or it's too long, but you know what, that's okay. Maybe it's just a long ear. Let's give it a little bit more shadow. You know what, who am I to judge whether this ear is too long or not? People have all different shapes of ears, and for me to judge the shape is just, you know, I'm comparing to the design here, and you know what, I really shouldn't be. I really don't need to. See, I can even carve away at the ear a little bit over here. And let's go, this is going to be a subtle ear change right there. Let's use some color here. So we're going to go, so this is like a turquoise, a greenish blue. So a good color would be orange to fill out the space around it. So working with some color theory here. So one thing I've definitely learned about the difference with oil pastels is, or as far as quality goes, you know, some of the brands have different price ranges. If you're paying less for an oil pastel, chances are they're a bit of a harder oil pastel, as in they're much more dense, and the pastel itself won't come off as easily. And if you wonder like what that might even mean for the artist, it's that basically you can probably draw, you have to draw soft on top of hard or soft on soft, but hard on soft will not work, because it'll just start to carve away, as you could tell, right? Like, you don't really want your ear or your pastels colors being laid down and then pulled away. So that's just one thought. But let's go with this next one. Let's do orange for the ear. Actually, no, we're going to switch colors here. And for those of you tuning in, hello and welcome. Or if you are not tuned in until later, hello and welcome. All right, so it has been a long day. Sometimes I go on and what I say one thing I've learned that I've had to do is I have to learn how to talk even when no one's listening, because the streaming platforms all like that. They don't like it when you're silent. So one thing I've had to learn to do is just talk and talk and talk, even when no one's listening. It's the It's the weirdest thing. You know, in your head, you just can't help. It's like the TikToker that dances and there's nobody can hear the music. It's that type of thing. And you talk until somebody joins the conversation and whatever. That's probably one of the hardest things about streaming. If you're looking to become a streamer one day, that's one of the hard things, is that as you're starting out, you gotta just be able to just go on and on, because otherwise some of the streaming platforms will question whether you're just a bot or a fake stream, and that's not good, because then you'll get these warnings on your profile that can potentially get you banned. So there's that. But you know, you just got to make sure that you chat, you talk, even when no one's listening. So here we go. Color in here. And there we go, another ear. So let's do another one. Finally, soon we're going to be moving into more ears. And then eventually a foot. We've got some feet coming up. How exciting is that, people? Who is excited to see feet being drawn? All right, so let's do this. So we've got an ear here. And we're going to go... Let's start with the left side, since we don't want to... I should spend more time on figuring out the right length. There we go. That's a little better. And then let's bring this in. That's a bit of a longer ear. Let's go like this. So we're going to go here. Yellow is a bit of a harder color to see. But that's okay. When we can work with challenges, that's when we'll learn how to work. So here we go. Let's bring this almost to the center of this thing. So right here. That is way too long, but that's all right. Let's go like this. Let's go like this. Let's bring this ear around. It's going to pop up right around there. And go around. And it's, what I really like about this book is you can pretty much learn just by, I mean, it's exactly what you're supposed to do, is you're supposed to learn just by copying. And I've noticed some positive benefits to my own drawing by learning through this material. So it has been helpful to me, and it's almost instantly noticeable. So we're going to try to match this piece right here. There we go. And then the straight line is going to come down right there, which means right there. So let's make this ear starting with yellow. Do something a little different because yellow is such a bright value. And I can pretty much, let's go with we need a darker yellow to go into some of the other areas. So we're going to take an ochre here. Let's go with a nice little ochre, and we're going to use this to shade, go with the shadows here. That's one thing where a lot of books, I said balls. That's one thing where a lot of books can fall flat as far as learning goes. Learning art is that I think they explain too much. A lot of books can explain way too much. They tell you like everything that doesn't need to be said. And you know, some people learn better that way. Some people will spend the time to read every detail about something, but where this book works really well, or at least the Charles Bargue style of learning, where it works really well, is this idea that you don't necessarily need all the words, you just need to do the work. So I think ears, at least mine do, ears look absolutely terrible with the basic oil pastel. The aesthetics of ears are just tough to nail down with oil pastel, but we're doing it anyway. Let's go like this, so I think I draw better ears like freehand than I do when I try to sketch it out, but let's see how this goes. A little bizarre ear right here. That's alright, let's do this next ear. I don't know exactly what the difference is. One's a left, one's a right, or it's just two different ears. But let's go with... How about we go with the light green for this? So here we are. We're going to go for a light green here. Light green. Oh, we just did it. There's a green right there. Maybe we should try a different one. Let's go for a red or pink. Yeah, pink is a good one. Let's do pink. So here we go. We're going to go down. That's about right. And then we're going to go up. And then we're going to come down. Bring this down. And then bring this across. Okay. Alright, so bring this around. Bring this over here. Bring this down. And let's go like so. So it's going to come out and bring this across. So many interesting shapes. It's hard to know like how I would even imitate this if I was just doing it in some other way. Like if I was just copying somebody from life or whatever. So let's see, this is going to come right here. So this needs to come right around here. Got a nice little piece right there. All right, how about that, people? So let's go with a darker red. I'm gonna go with the darker red around the outside here. If you're just tuning in, basically come on in and join the oil pastel in chat. So there we go. We got this form, and we're gonna go inside the ear and bring it around here. And there we have that. And let's go like this. Let's go. There we go. And then from in here, get some shading up the way. Now let's do this. Let's start to round this out a bit. All right, here we go. So right now what we're doing is we're using a variety of oil pastels here. So this one is a Craypa, the Expressionist brand. And, you know, they're all variety they are all a variety of different textures and prices, the price ranges, the pastels I use. And here's the only difference that I ever think of. I mean, of course, like the color and the pigmentation, and you know, that's a common way of talking about these. But something that I definitely noticed that is like super noticeable is their overall hardness or softness. The overall hardness or softness of each of these oil pastels can be totally different. And that's where you start to notice a lot of the differences. And that's where it can actually affect how you do it. Because you can't layer a hard pastel. Actually, I might want to use a darker one, slightly darker. Can't layer a hard pastel on top of a soft pastel. Or you can, but you know what? The texture is going to be much more difficult to work with. Alright, so let's do this. Draw the ear out. Draw it. And here we go. So it's going to come on the inside. Let's go like this. So whoop, whoop, whoop. And here we go. So just knocking out this quick sketch of the ear. So this gives us an opportunity to double up. And, you know, I'm totally looking forward to moving into these more complex figures. This will definitely be exciting. So it looks like we'll be spending quite a few pages on the foot. But before we do, we've got at least a couple ears left. Ha, get it? Couple ears, years. All right, so let's do this ear. We're going to go down and across, and then we're gonna go up and to the left, and then we're gonna go around. I'm gonna pop that, pop that around, and then it goes straight. And there we go. We have that ear. Of course, there's always this design right here of the ear. The I don't know what you would call it, but it always has this, like, this piece. So let's say this was going across. Let's say this right here. And there we go. So there's another ear. Let's go ahead and add some shadows on it. I'm gonna go with the dark blue for the shadows on this ear. So let's see how we can add these shadows here. We'll go with this dark blue and then another shade. And let's go ahead and tighten up this line work. Okay. Let's pop in a little bit of turquoise here. Let's see what color this is called. Celadon green. Alright, let's draw another one. So we'll go like so, like that, like this. And then here we go. So just coming around. These are some super detailed ears. Like, they almost look like photo prints of an ear. It's hard to imagine that somebody actually like drew these ears with a pencil for the sake of studying and copying them. So here we go. My goodness, these are not. I will avoid drawing ears in the future if I can. Why would anyone want to draw ears anyway, right? Like, who would want to spend all their time drawing ears? I don't know, but I feel like if I can get through this, I can do anything. So we're going to go ahead and continue doing this. And I think this really gives us an opportunity to really push and experiment with oil pastel. Does this one look like an ear? Not really. But okay, so let's go to another one. Let's go to this one. I'm going to go one, two, 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. Okay, so let's go across like so. Get a little small line right there. Another small line right here. And there we have that. So let's go like this. I think this is the best one yet, but we're gonna go ahead and color this in. Let's go into it with some dark green. Let's get to it. So use this green. All right, so let's go. We got this dark green for the darkest areas. Let's go with a lighter green. And go like a shade lighter. We're going to use this for some of the less dark areas, but still shady. some of the still shady areas, but not necessarily dark. Maybe even needs to be lighter. Now let's make this a super light green. We're gonna take this green and just carve it out and around. The Hulk's ears here. That's who we got. These are the ears of the Hulk. So let's go ahead and draw the whole thing here now. We're gonna finish this page before we wrap up. So let's go like this. We're gonna go around. We're gonna go keep drawing into these other areas here. Got some road rage out there. I don't know if any of y'all heard that extended horn. Definitely got some road rage going on in the streets of Los Angeles. Let's do one more. I'm going to knock out one more of these ears here. And choose a dark brown. I'm going to go dark brown. I feel like after a certain time I could get less productive, so that's how I know when I need to stop. That makes sense. Okay. Oh, this actually needs to be lower. So they basically colored in this whole ear as if there was nothing here, so I don't understand. Oh, wait. I see what's going on. So this part of the ear. No. Oh, yeah. So this part of the ear is just in shadow, but, you know, there's... Alright, so we're going to use this dark brown. We're going to drop the yellow a little bit with the ochre. So we're going to push a little ochre around this edge here. This is the ochre shadow. Excuse me. Now let's bring in like a nice little yellow. All right, not the best ear, probably one of the worst ears, but that's okay. We're gonna go around here, draw another one. All right, I don't know about ears, people, but for those of you that came in and jumped in, thanks for tuning in. It's been about an hour now, so we're going to call this a wrap on tonight, but stay tuned for some future episodes, and have a great day.